Hello there. Do you manage R&D programs within your organisation? Do you hear rumours from time to time about intellectual property opportunities that seem to have disappeared after a while and perhaps gone outside the company? If you had a system that could retain that IP and commercialise it for the company, how long before that could pay for itself, do you think? My name is Daniel O'Connor. I've been commercialising intellectual property for 39 years, and I wrote the book $1 Billion Napkin, which is a commercial pathways guide for independent inventors and small R&D teams. Now, we also run the Inventors Academy here in Australia, and it's an online program for commercialising intellectual property for small to mid-sized companies as well as individuals. And on our Academy Level 1 program, we work with the inventors themselves. We help them de-risk their project to get them from where they are now to their first cash-generating transaction, which might be a trade sale, it might be a licensing agreement, it might be a distribution agreement, or could even be a small capital raise for them. Now, our Level 2 program is for people who've graduated to Level 1 and who are successful inventors but want to become successful business mentors for other inventors. It makes a lot more sense for them to use some of the capital they've gained from their first experience and invest and become a partner with new technology for somebody else's program, so they can skip that first 18 months or 2 years of absolute dead zone where you don't earn any money. And they could then jump onto projects which are investment ready, but almost ready to scale. And that's where they can accelerate using their know-how, knowledge, and experience. Now, the Level 3 program, which is the one we've just about to launch in July of this year, it's an incubation program for larger corporations. It's mostly built for mid to large organizations and also multinationals. It doesn't matter if you're in manufacturing, retail, or even if you're a consulting engineering or consulting medical program, it doesn't matter. We help you with a structure to capture, qualify, protect with patents and everything else, monetize, and then commercialize the opportunities as they come to you, and also with a sensible exit for you at the end. The program is designed to mentor your own R&D leaders, and it creates an incubator, a structure within the organization, which can be fairly loose or very tight. It all depends on how you want to run it. The process helps you to own and commercialize everything that comes through the company. This program, I can tell you from experience, works. It really works well. For the first half of this year, we tried it with a few clients, and one firm, which is an international firm, got 2 projects up and running with a combined value of greater than $40 million. So it can be done. Imagine adding millions to your profit and loss at any one time, or even to your balance sheet, which have just come out of the company and you've not had to buy it or nurture it. From ideas, usually that's from ideas that exist within your firm. Now, this isn't typical valuation and turnover figures for anyone. I can understand that, but the process can work, and it can work for you. We provide structures, process, training, mentoring, and we help create and manage an IP incubator within your organization, so that structure exists, and it can take people, second people from all different departments to create that incubator, so you can build experience within the organization as well. Now, if you have opportunities, we'll help you to empower your people to commercialize them. They get to identify, capture, develop, protect, monetize, and build an exit pathway as they see fit. So let me show you how we do this to make it work for you. Firstly, there are 3 main elements to the program that we need to cover off: finding the opportunities, monetizing these opportunities, and then making sure that the company will have a payday, whether that's cashing out of a project or commercializing it. Now, let's just pivot to finding opportunities, and I'll work through that first. To do that, we have to build an incubator for your organization. An IP incubator brings in people who are maybe experienced from within the company and putting them into a virtual department for a little while called the incubator, the intellectual property incubator. And we're looking at all of the different opportunities, centralizing those so we get economies of scale and mitigate risk. In doing that incubator, we have to look at 3 major elements of it to get it started. And that is, we have to have a nice intellectual property policy program that goes into your policies and procedures manuals to make sure that everyone within the organization, employees, managers, contractors, all understand that any intellectual property that evolves or eventuates from the company belongs to the company. And we spell out how that works and why it's not negotiable as such. From there, we look at opportunity audits. On a regular basis, we carry out an opportunity audit within the organization, department by department sometimes, where we ask a series of questions to find out what's happening, what is available, and then once we've got opportunities that we've identified, we then have to look at qualifying these opportunities. We use project qualification for that. So that's a number of ways, a number of different levels, depending on where the project is. It can start with things as basic as ownership and protection opportunities. It could look at market validation, proof of concept, pricing, costing, sourcing of components, etc., and also then working towards how that'll fit within the organisation or whether it's not a good fit at all. Once we've done that, we then look to how we're going to make money from this. So what we do is we build the IP commercialisation program for each intellectual property project, and then some of those will be fast, some will be slow, some will be high cycle, some will be low cycle, some could ultimately take a lot of money and others take no money at all. It really, they're all different, they always will be, but that's fine. We have to be as agile as we can to cover all of that. From there, what we do is with the market validation, the ownership and protection, which is your patenting. We also look at how we're going to build value for this so it can generate a revenue for you. And finally, when we're ready to cash out, we've got to find a value realization point for each individual program, not for the overall entity, but rather for just each program. And we do that through distribution agreements, could be licensing agreements, it could be trade sale agreements, and we could also have a carve out for any of those there where you sell it off, or license it off, and you buy back the rights for your company to organisation to trade on that, use that technology under your own name or under the name of the buyer, doesn't matter. But ultimately, you've got favourable to use that. So that's how it works in general. Now we'll pivot back and I'll show you a little bit more. Okay, now if you'd like to have a formal IP incubation structure within your organisation, and if you want to have your senior R&D personnel trained as mentors so they can operate it within, we can deliver all of that for you, either as a turnkey IP asset management structure, or we can train your managers to build it and then operate it. We also help with the outside deals, such as your trade sales, your licensing, distribution agreements, etc., that you might not have the expertise in-house. We encourage people to also get close to a patent attorney so they can use that service as well. We don't offer that, but we do have plenty of people around the world who can. Now, if you want to know how that's going to work for you and more information on how we can make it fit into your organisation and how we structure this as a 6-month course to make sure that you can be operational within 6 months from the very beginning with IP opportunity audits all the way through to the trade sale, then click on the link below, book a time with me, and I look forward to talking to you about it.